Leaders is Carey Nieuwhof, founding pastor of Connexus Church and host of the Carey Nieuwhof Leadership Podcast, my blog, and all that stuff we do together. Hey, I'm really excited to be part of Leadership Network's Church Implementation Labs, and I'm going to be talking about 7 ways otherwise great leaders blow it when it comes to change. And that can be a really challenging thing for so many of us who lead. I know I've been in the same community for 22 years, still part of the church that we started way back in 1995. And it started as a really small set of mainline churches that needed some transformation. And God used us to really see a brand new day get ushered in that church. And I've made my share of mistakes in leading change, but we've also had some success. And I would say the one thing in 2 decades that hasn't changed is we're always changing. So I've learned some good ways to lead change and some bad ways to learn change. And I'll share a few mistakes that I see really, really smart leaders make. And here's what's at stake. I mean, could you imagine what would happen if in leading change you didn't lose 20 or 30% of your people, but not only you kept most of your people, but you attracted even more? I mean, what if the full potential of your leadership wasn't realized, not by the change you're trying to make, but simply through the process of, how you lead change? So we're going to look at a couple of things. For example, lack of empathy. And there's a really interesting gift mix that happens that often people who are gifted to lead lack a little bit of empathy. And I know that, fortunately for all of us, empathy is a skill that can be developed. But I know that's something I had to learn over time. And if you're not empathetic, you're going to do a worse job leading change. And on the other hand, if you have too much empathy, that's going to kill your change. So wherever you show up on the spectrum, empathy or the lack of it, or actually having too much of it, can be an issue. We're all going to look at, and you've seen this and I've seen this, but I mean, leaders who speak for God. I mean, clearly you think your vision is from God, otherwise you wouldn't be doing it. But when leaders try to speak for God, is that a good thing? Is that not a good thing? People get hurt in the midst of that. Hubris is another problem, just pride that gets in the way. And how do you deal with that? And then how you field questions. Do you come across as a know-it-all? We got this all figured out already. This bulletproof. It's going to happen. Or too little respect for the past. I mean, the reason a lot of churches get stuck not changing is because they've got too much respect for the past and they're stuck in the past. They're not even stuck in the present. But you can go the other way too, where the past is irrelevant. I know for me, I probably err on that side where I don't even care what we did yesterday or what I did yesterday. I'm just thinking about tomorrow. Well, that can be a problem too. So we're going to cover that and a number of other issues. And I hope you'll join me. I'm really excited about Leadership Network's Church Implementation Labs, which are happening soon. Come join us.